I've been that guy. While you was at home doing this, I was in the club making moves.
Jake Paul, if this is not going to be, curated into a little dance around exhibition, could find himself in a way of getting seriously hurt here, like Francis Ngannou did. Francis Ngannou was an MMA fighter that got blasted out by Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua has finally spoken out after Jake Paul's viral training footage sent genuine shockwaves across all social media platforms. Fans were meticulously dissecting every slow-motion punch and powerful combination from Paul's latest camp video, and Joshua's reaction instantly intensifies the surrounding hype. As a former unified heavyweight champion, AJ is rarely impressed, yet he is clearly taking notice. With Paul appearing sharper, quicker, and more focused than ever before, Joshua's statement suggests both admiration for Paul's physical gains and a firm belief that his own vast experience will ultimately dominate when they finally meet in the ring.
And Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, mate.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price
Agree with you.
on the planet in order to make.
Back when Paul was still learning the boxing ropes, Joshua offered what many considered an unexpectedly generous endorsement in a 2025 interview. When questioned about Paul, Joshua simply remarked, "He's good for boxing." That early comment signaled AJ's willingness to credit Paul for boosting public fascination with the sport, even though many analysts doubted Paul's long-term potential. Fast forward to the present. The fight is no longer a distant possibility. It is concrete, and the consequences have multiplied dramatically. Paul, holding a 12-1 record with 7 knockouts, enters this bout facing the biggest hurdle of his career. Joshua, the former unified world heavyweight champion, carries an established 28-4 record.
I was trying to fight Anthony Joshua now. How do you think that's going to go?
Man, Anthony Joshua, I don't know why I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. No disrespect to Jake Paul, I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. I'm staying within 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
You saw what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou?
Yeah.
Come on, I've never seen Francis get knocked out.
Yeah, that's huge too.
Yeah,
they're
huge.
both huge.
Yeah, he's huge. But you gotta hear the story. You gotta get Francis Ngannou in here and hear this story though.
I'd love to.
Bro, he was set up though, for real. I believe
On that fight?
Yeah, I believe him. Cause here's what they do, what sometimes what people don't understand. In boxing too, I don't know a whole lot about boxing. When you fight for promotion, they promote that fighter. So he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. So they was probably fighting at 3 a.m. and they had him in the locker room since 12.
In their initial public face-off during the press conference on November 21 Hurst, Joshua spoke plainly. He firmly emphasized the professional magnitude of the contest, underscoring that it is a massive, colossal, high-profile sporting event that successfully combines marketability with genuine skill. He issued a stark warning. His mind is focused solely on the fight, offering no mercy. During the media event for their upcoming December 19th bout, Paul was questioned about his expected weight. He revealed that he had recently been cutting pounds for an entirely different fight, which makes the necessary jump to this heavyweight showdown significantly harder. He estimated his current fighting weight would fall somewhere between roughly 215 lbs and 225 lbs.
Team, nothing negative. He's here to do his job. I could sit up here, as I said, and try and address all the things that Jake doesn't do good. But I'm fighting the Jake that's going to do everything good on December 19th. So let me focus on that. He's a good person, does his thing, great team around him, puts in the work, and that's why he's sitting here now. Anyone out there in the world that works harder than the next person deserves to be a front runner, and he's a front runner in the boxing game right now.
Respect. Jake, can I ask, it feels to me from afar, you're in a bit of a lose-lose here, because it seems like a lot of people want to see you get obliterated, right? A lot of people want to see you get your comeuppance. And if you do pull off the upset, or if this fight goes the distance, again, the whispers will start to come. People will discredit you. People will say, this, that, and the other about the fight. How do you balance that, and how do you deal with that?
Man, I've already won at every single thing in life. I'm playing on house money. I've accomplished all my dreams, said everything I was gonna do, from becoming, the first influencer to become an actor on Disney, to becoming the biggest YouTuber in the world, to rising to the top of boxing and having the largest viewed fight in the history of the sport. I've accomplished everything, so this is a win-win and another challenge for myself. I've never been knocked down or knocked out even in sparring, but I'm in a sport where that happens, and I know this is dangerous, but this is no different than a soccer player, losing in the World Cup on the biggest stage. If that's how it goes, if I take one of those punches that Francis Ngannou took and I'm on the canvas, let's see how tough I am. Let's see if I can get back up. But I'm ready for that. I'm prepared for that mentally, and I know that he has to deal with me as well. This is not as one-sided fight as people think, and I have power. I have the ability to put people to sleep, and so that's why I took this challenge. And I know it's crazy and all of that, but I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. My team's excited, and everyone believes in me, and that's all that matters.
How much do you expect to weigh on fight night?
Man, I was cutting down for Gervonta, so it's been a little tough getting back up in some strength for this, but anywhere 215 to 225, we'll see.
Okay, and I want to clear something up with you, AJ. I saw in the press release that it said that on weigh-in day, you can't weigh above 245, but post weigh-ins, you can weigh whatever you want. There's no rehydration clause or anything like that. Is that accurate?
Whatever it says, yeah, I think that's the case. But my focus, 111 kilograms is what I got to weigh in at, right? I do kilograms, not
Yeah,
pounds.
I don't know. You stumped me on that one. What is 111? Should I look it up?
Jake Paul asserts that this fight is his career-defining moment to silence every single critic who perpetually claims he only selects smaller or retired opponents. He firmly argues that by stepping in against Anthony Joshua, a legitimate heavyweight and former world champion, he is definitively proving his capacity to compete at the absolute highest level. According to Paul, once he triumphs over Joshua, all lingering skepticism will vanish, and no one can deny me. The Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua bout will be a fully authorized professional heavyweight contest conducted under standard boxing rules. They will compete over 8 rounds, each lasting 3 minutes, and both boxers are required to wear 10-ounce gloves. A critical condition is that Joshua must weigh in at no more than 245 lbs, a strict cap imposed to maintain competitive balance. Importantly, the result will be officially recorded on each fighter's professional record. This confirms the seriousness of the matchup.
Fight a real boxer. They said fight someone your size. They said fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed fighters for me to fight. The world. Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua, Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have a 100% chance.
Teddy Atlas offers a cautious but deeply intrigued assessment of the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight. While he outright warns that this could be a massive overreach for Paul due to the glaring difference in elite skill and ring experience, he stops short of completely dismissing the contest. Atlas highlights Joshua's recent devastating knockout loss and his lengthy absence from the ring, suggesting that some ghosts in his attic could leave him unusually vulnerable. Despite confirming that Joshua is still the more polished and immensely powerful puncher, Atlas admits he is eager to observe precisely what version of AJ ultimately steps under the lights.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse. you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding too that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing and some...
Ryan Garcia discussed the potentially career-altering impact facing Jake Paul should he lose the bout. Garcia stressed that Joshua's punching power must not be taken lightly, warning that a defeat could damage Paul not just physically, but also his reputation and future career trajectory. This entire experience could be transformative, highlighting the enormous uphill challenge Paul faces. Garcia emphasized that Joshua's immense skill and power make this a genuine test, and the consequences of failure are very real. Therefore, Paul's intense training, meticulous preparation, and acute awareness are absolutely vital to navigating the dangers that Joshua presents in the ring. One critical worry surrounding Joshua taking on Jake Paul is that AJ has only completed 2 fights in the last 2 years. Following his split decision loss to Alexander Usyk in 2022, Joshua has been far less active professionally.
Jake Paul or Anthony Joshua?
Anthony Joshua?
By far?
Yeah. Too easy.
Why did he take that fight?
I think he didn't have no opponents and he wanted to make Netflix happy, and I think he made a misstep. I think he was handling his career perfectly.
Yeah.
I think he would have beat Gervonta.
I think he would have beat Gervonta too.
But I think this is a big misstep. I think he let his ego get in from him and
Jake Paul's decision to enter the ring with Anthony Joshua is not merely a colossal gamble. Many experts are convinced it poses a severe threat to his physical health. Boxing insiders, notably Ariel Helwani, issued a clear warning that Joshua's untamed power and vast ring experience could leave Paul exposed to genuine, serious damage, pointing to the possibility of brutal knockouts as a major concern.
His last 7 fights has been beaten 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. He might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke show. In clown world, when I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud. You can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, nothing's going to no doubt's going to disappear.
Rising heavyweight Moses Itauma even publicly pleaded with Paul to prioritize his health over the massive paycheck, cautioning that a single miscalculated punch could result in permanent, long-term consequences. Meanwhile, former professional boxer Amir Khan spoke bluntly, stating that Joshua has the ability to hurt him badly, and that there is a severe risk of brain damage.
Joshua sparked him out in 2 rounds. Really? No. Why do you look surprised when I said that?
I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro. You're fighting one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Come on. Respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's going to get hurt badly, and this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on there. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly,
When you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat styles there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou. So,
and that's why you don't look. You can't be surprised if AJ is going to do the same to. What's it called again?
MMA fighter Darren Till has joined the conversation, weighing in on the controversy by labeling Jake Paul's challenge to Anthony Joshua as utterly disrespectful. Till firmly believes that Paul, despite his proven marketing abilities, has not yet earned the credentials required to challenge one of boxing's truly biggest names. Many professionals within the boxing community echo Till's strong opinion, feeling that Paul is stepping far outside his competitive league.
Is it all just, does he actually believe that he can beat Anthony Joshua? Is it all for clout? Is it all just to keep his... I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit disrespectful as well. Like, Anthony Joshua hasn't fucking been a heavyweight world champion, beating all these absolute killers just to get called out by Jake Paul. But look, if Jake Paul believes in himself, then, you know, you can't really fault that. Like, obviously, but sometimes it comes across as a bit delusion as well. Because I know for a fact that I'd fight Jake, I'd beat him up easy. Not easy.
David Hay has issued a catastrophic warning about the upcoming Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, flatly labeling it a glaring mismatch. Speaking to Sky News, Hay contended that Joshua possesses the ability to inflict horrendous damage on Paul, voicing profound concern that Paul's safety is in severe jeopardy. He stated frankly that if Paul fails to appreciate Joshua's immense size, raw power, and elite experience, the bout could tragically culminate in his last day on Earth. The physical difference is enormous. Joshua stands 6'6" with an 82 dow's reach, whereas Paul is approximately 6'1" with a 76 reach. Joshua typically maintains a weight between 240 to 250 pounds, though he is capped at 245 pounds for this specific fight. In sharp contrast, Paul spent his career primarily at cruiserweight and has only gained weight up to around 227 pounds for his recent heavyweight appearances. This clear advantage in size and weight provides Joshua with a massive edge in both reach and striking power.
Fight, £100 million potentially. Are you confident it'll happen?
I wasn't confident when I first heard about it. It sounds like one of those fairy tale fights that people talk about but don't actually get over the line. I heard this 3-4 months ago. I just dismissed it. I heard it a week ago. I went along with it, but deep down I thought this isn't going to happen. And today it's been made official. Jake Paul is going to get in a ring in a boxing match, boxing gloves, to mix it with one of the most dangerous heavyweights on the planet. Someone who is Olympic gold medalist, won the heavyweight championship twice. Although he lost his last fight against a very good Daniel Dubois, he's a top 10 heavyweight on the planet versus internet sensation, someone who's a latecomer to boxing and has boxed at a very moderate level. I'm talking domestic level, and he lost to Tommy Fury, for instance. And Tommy Fury, who he lost to, versus Anthony Joshua, they're two completely different sports. So I commend Jake Paul for putting himself in harm's way, because boxing is a dangerous game. People have died in the ring. People have been seriously injured, maimed. And he believes in himself enough to do it on a massive scale, because it's not about the money. He's got enough money. This is him wanting to push the boundaries of reality. He's manifested an amazing life for himself. He's a superstar. And I think he wants to try and do the unthinkable. He wants to. It's an insane challenge he's put himself up for, but you've got to give him credit.
You say an insane challenge. You've described it before as Jake Paul being a cat versus Anthony Joshua's lion.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not equally matched on any sense, are they?
There's not one element of their boxing skill set that Jake Paul can come 15, 20% in regards to Anthony Joshua. He's a completely different specimen. Look, you'll see what it looks like when they stand next to each other. And Anthony Joshua, he's not a bodybuilder. He's a prime athlete. He's someone who's dedicated his life to this. He lives it. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He's a real clean athlete who is going to inflict some horrendous damage to Jake Paul. And I hope we've got a referee in there who's quite compassionate, because if Jake Paul is left up against the ropes with Anthony Joshua.
On the flip side, Joshua's team is confidently planning for a performance that is both swift and absolutely brutal. Eddie Hearn has issued a daring prediction that Paul will be obliterated within 4 rounds, asserting that the moment Joshua connects with a clean shot to the chin, the match will instantly conclude. Hearn has positioned the bout as a vital, necessary stage for Joshua to re-establish his dominant image and potentially line up an even more lucrative showdown in 2026, possibly against a rival like Tyson Fury. Once this fight is over, the spotlight will inevitably shift straight back to elite heavyweight competition.
Obviously, AJ versus Jake Paul. Not gonna lie, did not ever see this happening, like ever, ever, ever. So, were you just as surprised when he agreed to do it as the world was?
Yeah, I mean, I had to deal with obviously knowing that it might happen, and then the contract coming through signed by Jake Paul, and I sort of looked at it. I was like, oh my god, he's done it. So yeah, look, I have to give him credit. I do think he's crazy. I think he's got absolutely no chance. I think he's going to get smashed to pieces.
Do you think Jake's crazy?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
totally. I mean, listen, for us, we received an offer that was massive money and a really easy fight. We were talking about fighting this week here in an 8-round fight. Now we're fighting in an 8-round fight for 40 times more money against Jake Paul. So I love the opportunity for
The core question remains: is Jake Paul genuinely venturing into highly perilous territory by agreeing to fight the veteran heavyweight Anthony Joshua,